up where we left off in 2023. The points now reset as we begin a new season for the 2024 Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship. All your favourite drivers are back, and some former champions return too. They're the fastest rally cars in Australia, and there's more coming. We visit all corners of the country, from West Australia to Tasmania in the south. But it's the nation's capital that gets the new ARC season started. This is the Techworkz Rally of Canberra.
I like the fact in Canberra it's a rally of two rallies and you have such different roads Saturday versus Sunday, particularly on Saturday, one of the most technical rallies.
Like it wants to kill you right from the start. Historically a great event, the home of rallying. It's very, very tricky. The spectators get behind it. Unfortunately, it's the Bates' home ground.
A really special event in that all the stages are very close to the city. So it's really accessible for spectators, and Canberra's got a huge number of rally fans.
To win the championship would just be a childhood dream come true, really.
I think this year, we're going to really have a good shot at it.
Championship's definitely a goal, see how the points look after the first couple of rounds. I think this year it's all starting to come together, and hopefully we show that on track.
We're back in the nation's capital for kick-off in a season that promises so much. Set by Lake Burley Griffin, surrounded by world-class museums, it is where federal parliament and Australia's big decisions are made. And there's been some big decisions made today already. Hi everyone, Greg Russ with you. Welcome to our brand new setup. We are with you for the Techworkz Automotive Rally of Canberra, round one of the Australian Championship. Over 40 cars entered. Everything from the latest Rally 2 machines that you see on the global stage to emerging stars and some classics too. Let's have a look at where the season in 2024 takes us. Well, we go west next. We crisscross the country with visits to the Gippsland, the middle of everywhere, the Adelaide Hills, and it all wraps up on some fantastic roads in Tasmania. Now, the plan for day one coming in looked like this. Around 65 Ks of competitive, a group of very technical stages, basically repeated to the west of Canberra. Many of them are kind of corner-to-corner style roads with a surface that in the dry can be quite loose. Now, if you follow our sport closely, you will know over the past 24 hours that we have been hit by some heavy rain here in the ACT. In fact, over 37 millimetres has fallen. So there's been some drivers' briefings, meetings around this subject. We have sent former Subaru World Rally star out to the stages to have a little look. He is with another driver, so two perfect people to discuss this subject. We welcome back to our coverage in 2024, Dean Herridge.
Thanks, Rusty. Here with Chris Atkinson, who's our competition checker. You've been out, we've done more kilometres of the stages so far. What was it like out there?
Yeah, it's tricky. Obviously, it's been raining a lot, but the stages have held up pretty well. I went over them yesterday lunchtime, last night, and again this morning. Challenging conditions, but the guys would have got through there okay, so I wasn't too worried.
So you've made the call, you thought it was okay to be out there. The officials have to take a lot into account, so you just offer up some advice and they make a call based on a lot of other factors as well.
Yeah, so from a competitive point of view, I thought the drivers could get through fine, all cars could get through fine. The roads held up really well. There was some standing water, so the first car would have actually been disadvantaged. So that would have been a step in that way, but then the following cars actually would go quicker and quicker until a point where it got slightly more muddy and it got more slippery. But challenging conditions are great for drivers to learn in. You've got to experience everything. If we drive around on dry roads all the time, you'll never learn anything.
Well, you're in this role because of your international experience in WRC, etc. You've been doing it now for a year or so around the country. Talk us through that a little bit. That's when the competition mode comes in. Road position plays a big part on how you treat these positions in a competition road.
Yeah, for sure. It plays a big thing, and obviously there's tactics out there as well, and how you drive in these conditions, and it can bring out the best in drivers as well. And you'll see bigger gaps and challenge drivers. And we've, overseas, we've driven in so many conditions, 10 times worse than this, mud everywhere, aquaplaning, and you learn so much about pacing yourself. Rally's not always about flat out. You've got to learn to judge the conditions, read the road, change the conditions. And for me it was fine for the drivers. There's other thoughts that officials have to make decisions on, and that's not my role. But yeah, it's been a challenging morning. It would be great to see the cars on the stages.
Pick a road position quickly. What would you go for?
3.
3. Well, there we go. Guess who was car number 3 on the road? Eddie Maguire, the Tasmanian. You'd be used to a little bit of rain. Unfortunately, we're not out there today.
Yeah, really disappointed. Would have been great to go and have a different challenge of these conditions. I mean, it is part of rallying. These cars are built for it, and Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, we've come a long way from Tasmania as well. We bring a really big crew with us, so it's not only that, it's the financial side of it as well. It's quite disappointing, but disappointing for the officials as well, who are out there.
Some braving the weather out there, holding the stages for you. So yeah, it's obviously disappointing from that view. Now, as a driver, reset. The hope is tomorrow's stages are completely different in characteristics. So it'll be game on and sprint style tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll give it our all tomorrow. Go and do a bit more recce now, video recce, and see if we can give it our best shot.
All right, mate. Go for the power stage too. Okay. Good luck.
No worries. Thanks, Dean.
So our first show will take on a slightly different look, but a chance for us to find some stories, talk to some of the stars here at Petters Rally Central. Firstly, why don't we rewind the clock to one of the most memorable finishes in the history of the ARC. The 2023 Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship was an all-time classic. Tasmanian Eddie Maguire emerged as a real star in his Skoda with a string of outright podium finishes. Eddie's brother, Steve, was also a serious contender in the Production Cup. He would only just lose out to eventual winner and fellow Tasmanian Bodie Reading, who was fortunate to finish the season after a spectacular crash at the penultimate round in South Australia. But in the end, it was a repeat of 2022, with Harry and Lewis Bates going head-to-head in the final round to decide the 2023 champion. The title came down to the final event, the last day of the season, the final stage, and it was just seconds that determined the final outcome. Harry Bates clinched his second ARC title, and Coral Taylor her fifth co-driver's crown, some 15 years since her last. Fittingly now, we are joined at the desk by the two drivers that featured in that epic finish in both Harry and Lewis Bates. Boys, welcome. Can we start with the decision and how you feel about no running today?
Yeah, I think the organisers had a tough decision to make, and as we've just seen this time in November, only about 5-6 months ago, we had sunny, hot conditions and the big concern was dust, and now here we are, totally drenched by a lot of rain. I think that the organisers have to consider a lot more things than us drivers. I think us drivers only have to worry about how quickly we can get through a stage and trying to do the best time and make sure that we're at the top of the timesheets, whereas for the organisers and the officials, there's a lot more to consider. They've got to consider the amount of volunteer officials that they're putting out in the forest in conditions like this, and whether or not things like medical can get to us drivers in the case of sort of an emergency. So, yeah, I was obviously very keen to compete. It's my home rally, but I also respect the decision of the organisers.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I think from a competition perspective, Anthony and I were pretty keen for it to go ahead. We're one of the few competitors turning up this year in a very known package. We've competed in very tricky conditions in our Yaris AP4. So, yeah, from that perspective, we wanted it to go ahead and have a slight edge over some of the others in new cars. But I understand from an organising perspective, it was a lot of rain that fell overnight. And the organisers know the forest better than anyone, and I entirely trust their decision.
How many times have you replayed that power stage over in your mind since the end of last year? And is there a real intent here for you to make a statement on the power stages this year?
Yeah, definitely replayed the power stage a few times in my mind. It's something I try not to think about too much, but to be honest with you, I really enjoyed the final day in Sunday here in Canberra last year. It was a really fun battle with Harry and Coral, and yeah, ultimately it came down to the power stage, but there are a lot of stages leading up to that where it could have played out differently as well. So overall, I come into this year hungrier than ever, and so does Anthony. We really want to get that title back.
We were hoping to see that beautiful new Rally 2 car in action today. So many fans are asking about it. Share with them what it is like, how different it is to the old car, and so on.
Like anything, it's got some differences and some similarities. So you're looking at a car that's the same platform. The AP4 car is a GR Yaris, and so is the Rally 2 car. To me as a driver, the suspension feels quite different in the Rally 2 car. It's got more travel than the AP4, and it just makes it speed in a slightly different way. So, to be honest, it has taken some adjusting to. I think overall it'll be a really good package over time, and it'll be something that we can go forward with and hopefully win more rallies and championships with. But at the moment, I would probably have felt more comfortable today jumping into the AP4 car and going out there. So just, I need more time. I really only had a day or two in the car to get used to it, and I'm hoping tomorrow we can go out there, put in some solid miles, and just get more used to the car, and Coral and I can really gel with it.
You'll get your hands on one very soon. You're off to Portugal in a few weeks' time, which is a fantastic opportunity for you. Is there a plan to do some more stuff on the world stage for you?
Portugal's a one-off at the moment. Obviously, I'm very grateful and excited for the opportunity. I wouldn't be doing it without Luke's support and safety culture. So yeah, at the moment it's just a one-off. We'll see how we go in Portugal, but yeah, it's obviously going to be a massive challenge. I've never competed overseas before, so there'll be lots of things to learn. We'll be learning a new car, a new rally. Some of the guys we're competing against have done that rally 7-8 times, so it's going to be a massive challenge, but I can't wait for it, and it's a dream come true.
The reality over our shoulder here is that Neil Bates Motorsport is a family-run operation. Brotherly love is a real thing, but also we are now at a point where you've both won titles, you're both going head-to-head with each other. Does that change the dynamic for you this year at all, and how are you both dealing with that?
I think the dynamic stays pretty similar between us. I mean, at the end of the day, we're both competitors, and when we turn up to events like this, we both want to win. And I know that quite often the person I have to beat to do that is Lewis, first and foremost. Last year, we were often the ones battling it out for stage wins and rally wins, and obviously, eventually the championship came down to the two of us as well. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, we work together every day. We both work at Neil Bates Motorsport, and we're behind the scenes in both the running of our rally team and also the Toyota 86 series, which we're both part of. So we spend a fair bit of time together, and ultimately we get along really well. But yeah, I think the truth is on weekends like this, we do want to beat each other pretty badly.
Yeah, definitely. It gets pretty competitive, but yeah, I'm not going to lie and say that I want to win in the Yaris AP4. That's what we're coming here to do this weekend. We're comfortable in the car, and Harry's had limited miles in the Rally 2 car, so I think if there's any rally we can take advantage of that, it would be this weekend. So yeah, weather aside, I think tomorrow's going to be game on.
All right, may the best driver win, but the pressure against both of them may come from some other stars here in this service park. On that note, why don't we go back to Dean now?
Thanks, Rusty, here with Jamie Luff. And Jamie, building on a couple of years now, how's it feeling coming into 2024?
Yeah, very good. Well, very excited to get into it this year, and obviously it's changed our plans a little bit today, but still get into it. Had a bit of a disappointing year last year with a lot of DNFs, mechanicals, and a little crash at Canberra at the last round. So, yeah, very keen to get back out there and see what we can do tomorrow.
Does that make it hard? Like you said, you sort of lost momentum. It felt like when you're in your Subaru production and you stepped up in car and outright sort of pace, but didn't quite land a round or a heat that you could really put your teeth into.
Yeah, definitely. In the Subaru, we've got a lot of confidence out of it. We're going really well, had some great results. I think we had a 4th outright ARC at Gippsland the year before last, and yeah, it was really good. Then we jumped into the Yaris and just a few teething issues through the year and couldn't pull a full round together. But yeah, hopefully we can change that this year.
If you can change that, how does the car feel? Has it got that outright pace? Could you upset and get a stage win or two as you keep building that momentum?
Yeah, I believe so. I think after we get a few runs into it now, we'll get a lot of confidence back. The car feels really good at testing. We made some changes, and yeah, it made up a lot of pace in the test stages.
Well, keep that pace going, mate. You've got those stages tomorrow. Good luck out there in the Black Beauty. We're going to leave you here, and I'm going to go to a fellow West Aussie over there in traditional blue and yellow. He's brought a couple of cars over, so we've got a West Aussie contingent. Dave Thomas, mate, welcome to the ARC. From memory, this will be your first crack at Canberra, and you've brought a very interesting car with you.
Yeah, well, thought we would build something to compete in the two-wheel drive championship. First rally out of WA, so hopefully we can get to a few more and experience a few rallies on the wrong side of the country, and hopefully see how we go. No huge plans to do anything majorly sort of successfully. Well, I'm going to do the best I can to get it on the road, but we come where we come. We're not expecting great results, but we'll see how we go.
You've chosen this on purpose, as you said, to be involved in the two-wheel drive cup part of the Australian Championship. You've got experience in classic cars, you had on four-wheel drive, got lots of experience in WA. The thing is, you haven't driven a kilometre in this car. You've even just put the suspension on Tuesday, so this is literally a shakedown/test all in one.
Yeah, that's true. The suspension wasn't going to turn up in time, so we had it sent to Canberra, and we fitted it in the car park at our hotel on Tuesday. and drove it here, and here it is. So
Here we are.
we'll see how we go.
Mate, good luck to you and the family, of course. Got the daughter on board, Callie, doing the co-driving. Good driver in her own right, West Aussie. Let's try and steer through here now. I've talked a lot about the MRF tyres and how a lot of our teams haven't actually had much experience. A guy who probably does is Tony Sullins. We're going to try and find him here. He's busy chatting to all his MRF friends. Tony, he's ready for us, ready to go. What are we looking up there, mate? These tyre compounds, what the weather's doing tomorrow? Where are we at?
Yeah, I wish. No, we're just hanging out, making the car ready. It was never ready 5 minutes ago, and now it's ever ready.
The thing is, you've purposely chosen this AP4 car, and you've got lots of experience, got some rallies under your belt. You're here to have a proper tilt here, aren't you?
You want me to say yes is the answer, but...
Well, you give me the honest answer, mate.
Well, the honest answer is this is the only car I got that goes.
Right, okay.
I wrote my GC8 off in a state round a few months ago, last year. This is the only car I have that goes. It was only bolted together like 10 minutes ago. I had new cross members and stuff in it. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't had a chance to drive it, and I'm not comfortable in it. So if I was having a full tilt, I'd probably still be in the GC8, to be honest with you. But I want to learn. I don't want to go to Western Australia with an untried car, so I'm keen to do some miles around here. I'm not going to set the world on fire, but I want to have the car at least comfortable, so when I get to Western Australia, I'm not going a long way for nothing.
You won't be doing for nothing. You're competitive, mate. Great to have you involved in it and committing to the series, including Perth, of course. And 2 options on tyres. In weather like this, mate, having an MRF with 2 options is a good thing.
Brilliant, it is. There's actually 3 options, but don't tell anybody.
We won't tell anyone. Plenty to come from the MRF tyres throughout this year.
Our next guest joined a very special club of Australian Rally champions a decade ago. The Petta family have a rich history in the ARC. Scott is back for a full tilt at the 2024 Championship, and he's with us at the desk now. G'day.
G'day, Rusty. How are you?
It's great to welcome you back. You've always been immensely fast and committed, but is this Scott Petta 2.0? Is this a different version for
look, I hope it's a bit of the same. You know, I hope I'm 48 now, and I hope there's some maturity to come with that speed. We'll certainly find out. But, you know, I've been on the sidelines now, sort of watching as an interested spectator, and I'm back in the championship, you know, spending the right money and got the right crew, got the right car, and my aim is to beat Toyota.
Okay.
That's the aim.
Okay, so that's a big statement. You're gonna shake the tree.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got the right car and the right team, and I think I've got the right attitude. You know, obviously, I think the best co-driver we've had in Australia for a long time. Yeah, my aim is to beat the Bates boys.
Let's talk about that package a little more then. So Glenn McNeil beside you, a Skoda which has, you know, relatively recent history in Ireland, run by Maximum Motorsport. Collectively, it is a good combination, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we had the option of running a new Skoda, but I wanted a car that I'd driven before, so it's pretty much the same specification as I ran in the World Championship in 2016. It's got the same setup I had in Portugal, so it's a combination of some new but some old and trusted ways.
I can understand the lure of wanting to come back because the championship is in such a healthy state, right? Some might argue younger person's game. so what was the final catalyst that made you go, yep, righto, we're in this for 2024?
Look, it's just an itch that needs to be scratched again. You know, I don't mind the term multiple Australian champion, and I'm still 48. I still think I'm young enough. I still think there's some pace there, and hopefully the experience is going to see me through. We've
got a little bit of vision of that 2014 series win. What memories does that evoke?
Oh, look, very emotional. We did a launch the other day, and Dean Herridge was there at the end of 2014 and showed that, and showed me in tears, showed Dean in tears. But that was very, very special to finally get there after so many years, and I'm going to assume that this year's championship is going to be emotional as well.
Good stuff. Go well. It's great to have you back.
Thanks, mate.
There he is, Scott Petta, just one of the Skoda drivers in this service park in this championship in 2024. The Maguires, well, they look pretty sharp as well, but we wondered, could they cut it, so to speak?
I'm Eddie Maguire. I'm Steve Maguire. I'm the younger brother. We're both from Tasmania. We both drive Skoda Fabia Rally 2s. Oh! Thank you. Both competitive, growing up, riding push bikes around the yard. We learnt to drive at a young age. We mountain bike together, we dirt bike ride together, and it's always very competitive. Come to the blue line, and then go your left foot forward on your left. Yeah. It's always a good feeling when I'm going straight past Eddie too. Ooh. Bugger.
We're always there to look after each other as well and help each other be quicker at whatever we do, whether it is motorbike riding or rally car driving.
Oh, well done. Oh, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to pry it up. So our dad got us into rallying and motorsport at a pretty early age out in the forests of Tasmania. Eddie and I was 6 years old when he was taking us out there to spectate and do road closures and things, and it's been competitive since the age of 14. It's been a fantastic last few years now that we're moving forward with the cars we've got. It's game on now.
Being the older brother, I suppose, I started rallying a bit before Steve did, but now I've really got to sort of watch myself because he's getting a lot more competitive now.
We manage and own a business, PWS Poly Welding Solutions. The juggling act between rally and work is quite tough at times. I spend a lot of time in a vehicle driving from site to site. It's tricky, but you love motorsport this much, that's what you got to do. So.
Rallying is a good release because while you're in a car competing, you're not thinking about work, you're not thinking about all the other things in life. So it is a good relief, as much as it is quite stressful at the events because there's lots happening, there's a lot of pressure. It's still a release to get away from work. You nail the corner, it's just the best feeling in the world. And to work on that and to get better and better at it, it's just an amazing feeling.
In 2024 Australian Rally Championship, I'd really like to get in the top 3 stage times. Some podiums would be great. Lots to learn in a short space, but I'm sure we can do it. I'd really like to see Eddie on the top step.
2024 is going to be a big year for us. Having 2 Skodas in the team, it's going to be really exciting. It's a little bit easier for the crew in some aspects because we've got the same type car. My expectations this year, I'm not going to shy away from it. We're here to win it. That's what we'd like to do. We're here to win.
Righto. Best out of 3.
Yeah, one-handed.
Watch this.
Unless I get a bullseye, well...
Oh, hey! Win.
He's pretty chuffed about that, isn't he? Well done.
Just some of the characters here in the Bosch Motorsport Australia Rally Championship. We'll have a bit of fun with stories like that in 2024 too. Joined now at the desk by Alex Rouleau and Tom Clark. Boys, welcome. How do we feel about today's decision? And can we be a little bit forward thinking here? We know that it's happened. If it continues to clear, stages tomorrow could be good fun, couldn't they?
Yeah, look, I think the stages tomorrow are relatively good to go. Previous experience would show that they hold up quite well to the water. So, mate, look, I'm ready to go. I would have been ready to go today, but look, I can see why they've had to make that decision. Safety, look, is paramount and it has to come first. I think most of the teams would have gone out there and had a crack, but again, previous experience, and probably a lot of teams have been there in the wet before and understand how bad those roads can get. So I think I've been through there in years where we've seen multiple cars off the road, and look, for organisers, I'd see it being a nightmare. So look, the call's been made, and I think that's just, it is what it is now, and we just live with it.
Yeah, 100% agree with Tom there. Yeah, safety's number one. So yeah, if we can't get ambos in there, it makes it a bit tricky. But yeah, I would love to be out there no matter what conditions. So yeah, looking for something to race today. The horse racing across the road's looking pretty appealing. But yeah, the stages tomorrow should be good. Looks like those roads are pretty dense. They should hold up pretty well, and yeah, they're my favourite roads. So as long as we keep them, I'll be happy.
Hard to look back on the scorecard for you last year, but it is worth telling the next layer of the story, and that is a lot of work on the car to ensure that those problems don't happen again in 24.
Yeah, look, we had a drama-filled year last year, and look, it was no fault of what we were doing or what I was doing, but more so failures with the car. It was a power steering problem that was the main contributor, and look, we went through 3 power steering units that caused us DNFs last year, so there's a lot of work gone in with M Sport to make sure those new units are working, and I think we're relatively happy with what we've got now. So testing all went well, and the car felt really good. I think the changes even to the power steering unit, I felt like it was better, but ultimately we're just looking for reliability to make sure we can get through.
A circuit racing background for you, but a year on from the announcement that you would come and play in rallying, where are you heading into 2024, and are you ready to kind of put in a serious challenge to the guys behind us.
Yeah, look, I think so. It's been a lot of work last year developing the car and myself. So, yeah, at the end of last year, it really started to click. It was hard as me for a driver to try and develop the car without sort of knowing what I'm chasing. Obviously, never having driven any of the other R5 Rally 2 spec cars. So it was lucky I could lean on the experience, the Lane and the Race Talk team for those guys and give them the best feedback I could. So we ended up making a lot of shop changes and moving quite away from the stock setup we got with that car. So I'm really happy with how we ended up, and yeah, we're heading in the right direction. We made some more changes in the pre-season tests that were nothing but positive. So yeah, I'm really comfortable with the car at the moment, and be keen to get out there and see where we sit compared to the other guys.
Tom is a big supporter of emerging talent, and there's great depth. It's a great feel about the Production Cup, so well done on supporting that. And as far as Alex is concerned, we joked a little earlier on social media today about whether there might be team orders in the Rouleau camp. Dean is with Alex's father, Targa West winner, Peter Rouleau.
Yeah, showed plenty of pace and got plenty of trophies on the cabinet in the tarmac, but this is a whole new caper of the gravel scene, isn't it, mate?
Oh, it definitely is, and this weather is a whole new angle to it all as well.
You say that, but then you've gone and done Sweden, you know, in the snow with the studs and stuff. This is not quite the same, though, is it?
Yeah, I think I'd prefer the snow, actually, knowing what I know now. But no, yeah, look, driving with the studs in the snow is absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe how much grip the studs gave you in that type of condition. I think if we had those studded tyres over here, it would make a big difference.
Indeed it would. The ARC is a little bit like a mini WRC with so many pockets, and the commitment from you and Alex and the team, you're building momentum, building experience every rally, every kilometre.
Oh, yeah, look, I suppose the whole outset of the ARC this year and all the teams stepping up and the amount of Rally 2 cars in it, it's exciting to see, and it's starting to give that similar atmosphere to the WRC.
Yeah. And the thing is, a bit of inter-team rivalry going on there. Are you watching Alex's stage, something that you benchmark?
Maybe a little. No, look, I think you know, Alex has definitely improved over the last year, but yeah, we do look at each other's data. So there's a couple of spots where Alex could improve, but I'm probably doing more of the learning off some of Alex's data.
All right, so that means game on. Good luck this weekend, mate. Peter, Alex Rouleau, they're going to go fantastic. One of the people you talk about conditions and taking it to the event. Think of the classic guys. And last year's champion, Dave Thompson. You've got a different beast here, mate, and mate's challenge on again this year. Committed fully.
Yep, full series. They're doing the whole lot. New car, new navigator for this event. I've got an 18-year-old jumping in the car with me for his first ever gravel event in a two-wheel drive. Yeah. The new car is exceptional. It's Piranha, Ford Piranha.
I know, mega power out there. I mean, we talk about loose grip on any of our gravel roads. Mate, keeping control, but the smile is just as big as the wheel spins in these things.
Yeah, it makes the right noise. You know, like the last couple of years in the Rotary have been good. It's taught me a lot about handling and stuff like that. The Piranha's got the same suspension, but it's got the right noise now. So, and plenty of horsepower.
And a great field, great battle going on, and of course your company, Trenching Systems Australia, backing the classics, and we hope to see that build as the season progresses as well, in each pocket as you go to every state.
Yeah, it'd be good if we can entice a few more people out of the grounds. We're actually even talking about doubling the prize money for interstate people to go to West Australia. So we're just looking at that at the moment. I've got to talk to Ross about it and see how it happens, and Adrian, but we've got to try and do something to get there's so many good cars in sheds which are not competing. Yeah. Whereas we've got all the AP5 cars, everything we've got in Australia is running, so...
Right, I think lock the deal in. Oh, I'll have a chat to Ross, mate. Great incentive. Let's get some classics to WA, and good luck this weekend there to Tomo. Great character in the sport. Michael Harding, you know, main fix WX in the Production Cup you're going for, and of course, major sponsor, thanks to Techworkz Automotive for your support of your local event, mate. Great to have you here.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having us.
The thing about it, I'll talk to you before, local round, you want to go well in Production Cup, you said, that'll dictate whether you might get to some other rounds in the series.
Yeah, I think so. We'll make a decision after tomorrow, and we'll sort of see where we sit in the standings, and then make a decision of where we want to do later on in the year.
You've got lots of experience. You've chosen that car on purpose, light and nimble. You know, we've got someone like Molly, former champion in a newer Subaru. Is that the benchmark? You think you can take her on these sorts of roads?
Look, time will tell. Yeah, Molly's a very, very, very good professional driver in a much newer car. But again, we have a bit of a weight advantage and a bit of local knowledge. Obviously, Molly knows Canberra very well as well. So we'll just take it as it comes.
Mate, it means full force into Cohen. You like Cohen?
I love Cohen.
So you're parked today. Go for it tomorrow, mate. Good luck.
That's it. Lovely. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck. And let's go to a junior competitor who's committing to 4 rounds of the series, what makes up the junior challenge. Mitch Garrett over here. Got the same badge on, just doesn't have the turbo on board, but that puts you in the junior category, mate. Great that you can commit to some more rounds this season.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We did Adelaide last year and absolutely loved it. So the plan was to do 4 rounds this year and do Tassie at the end of the year if we really had to. But yeah, we'll go all out and try and get the Junior Cup.
And that's the thing, you're in such a good battle. You hope the same as we were talking to Tomo before, that you might get more people to join as other state competitors ramp up. But it's amazing to try and get and gain experience. Do you find that being involved in the Australian Championship has lifted sort of your, ability and the team and what's expected to be an outright competitor?
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. We're just here for experience. As you said, we're in a non-turbo car, so we'll try and get as much experience this year, and then maybe next year we'll look for something else. But yeah, hopefully we can have some good battles, especially with Jaden, who's in a very similar car. So that's the aim.
My ball's on for tomorrow. Good luck there. So plenty going on up and down the field here, of course, at Rally of Canberra.
Our final guest today won the Australian title very memorably in 2016 and then went on to show the world how it's done on the global stage in the New Age Extreme E-Series in 2021. This year's schedule looks nuts, but she's excited. Hello, Molly Taylor.
Hey,
how are
Rossi,
you?
I'm good.
How the heck are you juggling all that?
It's busy. It's been a very busy, last year, and then it just kind of keeps ramping up. So, yes, there's a lot of compartmentalising what job has to be done this week, but fantastic to be in a position to be trying to juggle different racing programs. So just taking it all in as we can get it and trying to make the most of every opportunity.
I said to Tom Clark a little earlier that there is great depth in the Production Cup field. What keeps bringing you back? And I know that's a little bit loaded, that question, because there is a pure love for this championship, isn't there? Yeah, totally. And I think all the different racing categories are fantastic and fun and challenges in different ways. But getting out on the rally stages in the Subaru, I feel like that's sort of the bread and butter, and that's where I feel home. And it's been a lot of work to get Fabio, the WRX, back out on the stages, but. Ever since we started with Subaru in 2016, we were in the Group N car to kind of showcase what that car can do as a fairly base model, and now we've made a few more adjustments, and now I think running in the Production Cup, it's still such a great testament to what that platform can do out on the rally stages. It looks fantastic, the sound is fantastic, and I think even in the Production Cup, it's still one of the favourites out there because it just has so much history and so much personality to it. Now, you were spotted at the wheel of a GT4 machine very recently. In a week's time, the Shannon Series here on 7 Plus will be at Phillip Island. Is there a plan to somehow squeeze in a bit of circuit racing this year too?
I hope so. Yeah, that was my first time driving something like that, and very cool car, very, very different style of driving. I think, if you drive a rally car like you drive that car, you won't make it past the first corner. But really impressive with all the driver aids and the electronics and the things that car can do, and it's just such a beast of a car. So great to have a little steer of it. I would love to do a few cameos later in the year, maybe some of the endurance events, probably saying too much. But yeah, watch this space, we'll see, hopefully.
I love your loyalty to Subaru, and I think many of the fans do, right? But let's get real here. Did you get close to ending up in one of these cool cars, elsewhere in the paddock here that might have been able to challenge the Toyotas or something like that? Yeah,
getting in an outright car is definitely a dream. The ultimate dream would be to build an AP4 Subaru that can do that. That would be the ultimate dream. I think, like motorsport, it's expensive. It's hard to get a program together, and I think the championship has come such a long way in the past few years, which is amazing. But I think we still have work to do in order for those kind of factory seats at the top level, for there to be lots around, so there's just kind of not the avenue for that to happen right now. So we're hoping to be able to change that so that is a possibility in the future.
It is awesome to have you with us for at least part of the journey in the ARC this year. Go well with that, and most importantly, kick butt on the international stage.
Thanks, Rusty.
There is Molly Taylor. That wraps it up for today. Don't forget, of course, to stay up to date on the very latest. Our intent is to go rallying on Sunday here in Canberra, and for the latest, you can follow the Bosch Motorsport Australia social media channels or go to rally.com.au for the latest. On behalf of Dean and all of our team from Service Park here in Canberra, it's bye for now.